Welcome to Unfrazzle, a podcast for solo business owners with a big vision who are ready for a kinder, more sustainable approach to productivity. I'm Louise Miller, and each week I share bite-sized insights to help you step away from the hustle, stop faffing and stay focused so you can make your brilliant ideas happen and make a bigger impact in the world. Before we dive into today's episode, if you enjoy what I'm sharing here on Unfrazzle and you'd like to support the podcast, you can buy me a cuppa by going to buymeacoffee.com/Louise Miller and making a one-off donation. I'll pop a link to that in the show notes. Okay, grab yourself a cuppa and let's get started. One of my one-to-one clients had Start Podcast on her list for over a year. And she's been very busy with launches and creating new programs, doing loads of speaking, not to mention the life stuff that just keeps happening, often at the worst possible moment. And there always seemed to be a legitimate reason not to get that podcast started and out into the world. And so there it sat on the list, not forgotten, but not progressing either. And during one of our recent planning calls, we decided it was time to address that, to figure out what is actually stopping this project from moving forward and whether it's time to start. And our conversation went a little bit like this. It's a lot of work, she said. Is it though, really? The podcast is replacing something you're already doing. And actually, it shouldn't take much more time or work than the thing you're doing already. I need the setup to be right. The mic and the camera you've been using already have been fine for everything else you do in your business, which includes a lot of online speaking. So why aren't they okay for this too? I've been thinking about redecorating my office. Do you think people are going to be watching the video of your podcast because of the beautiful wallpaper or because of the incredibly valuable content that you're sharing with them? I'll start after I've been to the hairdresser. So at that point, I decided to take a different approach. And I asked, what will become possible for you when you get your podcast out into the world? More people will know I exist and that I know what I'm talking about. And then what? I'll sell more stuff. And then what? I'll make more money. And then what? I'll be able to buy my dream house. And are you willing to let a few grey hairs get in the way of that happening? So through the course of our conversation, we really turned up the motivation to get that podcast done, and we unpicked the fears that were holding her back. Not just those fears around the office doesn't look good enough, my mic's not good enough and all of that. We went deeper than that. We went into the things she was actually afraid of and talked that through as well, so that by the end she was ready to start taking action. Not because things have calmed down, but because that podcast is too important to her to not take action. So we've spent a year waiting for things to calm down, and it hasn't happened, and it's not likely to happen. So now we've agreed I am not going to let her off the hook with this project anymore. So we've set a launch date. We're figuring out how to make it as easy for her as possible, chipping away until it's out in the world and making an impact. And she's already finding it to be way less of a big deal than she thought. So do you have anything like that in your business? A project that you know is important, but you've been putting off until things calm down? Is it time for a reality check? What's really going on? Will things ever calm down enough for you to start taking action, or do you need to find a way to make it happen anyway, one small step at a time? So as always, I hope that this helps, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you for listening to Unfrazzle. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend who needs a dose of calm productivity in their life. And I'd love it if you could leave me a rating and a review, as that will help more people discover this podcast. If you'd like to hear more from me to help you stop faffing and take back control of your time, you'll find a link to join my mailing list in the show notes, and I would really love for you to join us. So thanks so much for your support, and I look forward to seeing you next time.